If you're wondering if 2022 is the year you need to hit the ground running and sprint back to the happiest place on earth, pump the brakes. Let's talk about if this really is the year you should be planning, budgeting, and dreaming about a Disneyland vacation. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Whether you're waiting to return to Disneyland, you've already returned to Disneyland since the closures, or you've never been and want to plan your first ever trip, there are some important things you've got to take under consideration before sealing that Disney deal at the first park ever. So let's break down all the reasons you should and should not make the trip to Anaheim in 2022. Let's get started. All right, let's talk first about why you should go to Disneyland in 2022. Maybe you're ready to see the brand new park additions, reimagined rides, new lands, fresh menus, lots of new shops. If it's been a minute since your last trip to Disneyland, then you better buckle up and brace yourself for all the changes. First off, I gotta mention the biggest 2021 expansion in the Disneyland parks, aka the beautiful and shining Avengers Campus over at Disney California Adventure. Avengers Campus features the new Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure ride, which gives you the chance to go on a web-slinging journey just like Spider-Man, sort of, with the help of state-of-the-art animatronics, 3D glasses, and gesture recognition technology, of course, thanks Mr. Stark. Throughout the land, you might also spot some familiar faces from your favorite MCU films like the Dora Milaje, Captain America, and Ant-Man in his non-tiny form. Oh, and you obviously can't miss the Spider-Man Stuntronic flying high above the buildings. Still not entirely convinced that's not just straight-up Peter Parker, but whatevs. The food options here are fun and innovative too. A couple of my favorites include the ginormous Choco Smash candy bar, which I tried to eat all by myself and got very, very sick because it's very, very large, and the not so little chicken sandwich, because who wouldn't want to eat a giant slab of chicken on a comparatively tiny bun? It's super fun thanks to Pym particles. They also have that cool beer that fills from the bottom. It's very, very awesome. Now, along with the California Adventure expansion, some Disneyland park rides are looking refreshed lately thanks to the new ride scenes and Imagineering at its finest. Similar to the East Coast counterpart, the Jungle Cruise received some new scenes, new characters, and an all-new storyline. These changes were revealed when the ride opened this past July. Don't worry, there are still plenty of corny jokes to spare. Another attraction that recently saw some polishing and updates was Snow White's Scary Adventures. Instead of being scary, this ride switched things up a bit by transforming into Snow White's Enchanted Wish. Already sounds a little less terrifying, right? Well, many scenes from this opening day attraction have remained, but many new scenes have been added to the mix too. These incorporate projection design, special lighting, and a more lighthearted, happily ever after attitude. Avid shoppers are going to be happy to know there's a new shop on Main Street called Plaza Point. This store features holiday merchandise all year round, so that means seasonal stuff is going to change out depending on the season. So make a pit stop here for all your ornament and seasonal decor desires. If at any point during your time in Disneyland you decide it's time to relax and take a breather though, the new Tenaya Stone Spa at Disneyland's Grand Californian Hotel has you covered. Available services are massage, foot treatments, herbal body treatments, several other relaxing offerings that you definitely need after a day in the parks. See, tons new for you to explore and enjoy in 2022. Just make sure to eat a Choco Smash candy bar for me when you go. Okay, another reason that you would want to go to Disneyland in 2022 is you like to experience different events. Events in Disneyland look a lot different from their Disney World counterparts, so if you're wanting to experience something totally unique that the Orlando parks don't always have, here's your chance. Disneyland After Dark events are returning in 2022, though the Sweethearts Night, Villains Night, and Star Wars Night are already sold out for February, March, and May. If you're really interested, keep an eye out for any last-minute ticket sales that get re-released as the events get closer. During these hard ticket events, you're going to stay late at the parks and have themed events, which include specialty treats and themed characters. Now, this is a separate ticketed event from your regular theme park ticket, with general admission starting at $119 per person. Halloween fans can celebrate a spooky season from August to October with Oogie Boogie Bash, the separate ticketed event that's all about Halloween and our favorite not-so-scary characters over at Disney California Adventure. That sells out like immediately when it goes on sale, so please join our newsletter so you know exactly when those tickets happen. Disney Merriest Nights debuted in the 2021 holiday season and featured festive parades, a very merry fireworks spectacular, and Snope on Main Street, USA. And if the Halloween and Christmas after-hours events are something you're interested in experiencing, then keep track of when those ticket sales are going to drop. Make sure you reserve time in your schedule that day for a potentially long wait time on the phone or on your computer. Disney California Adventure also has several events throughout the year that you don't need separate tickets to experience. The Lunar New Year Festival in Disney California Adventure Park takes place through February 13th, 2022, and this one celebrates the traditions of Chinese, Korean, and Vietnamese cultures through special entertainment, snacks, decorations, and merchandise, as well as characters. If you're a food lover, which I know nothing about, of course, you might want to visit during the Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival. It takes place between March 4th and April 26th, 2022, and this festival boasts lots of marketplaces serving up different eats and drinks. You can also participate in special seminars like wine and mixology sessions this year, which they haven't had for a little while. If you like to dress up all fancy schmancy, you might want to schedule your trip around the Dapper Day events. Dapper Day is the time for guests to break out their retro, fancy, and Disney-inspired outfits to show off their style in the parks. In the spring, prepare to see or wear your very own Dapper outfits on April 23rd and 24th. Not visiting in the spring, there are usually Dapper Day events that take place in the second half of the year too, normally during the month of November. And in November and December, Disneyland is decked out in holiday decorations, special seasonal eats, and holly jolly entertainment. It's also the time to check out the Festival of the Holidays in Disney California Adventure. Okay, another reason you might want to go to Disneyland, you've familiarized yourself with all the updates. When Disneyland reopened, it was still the Disneyland we remembered in terms of the food, rides, and overall ambiance, but many new rules had to be put in place for Disney to manage crowd levels and keep everyone safe. Several of those regulations are still in effect, and those rules include the park pass reservation system, park hopping after 1 p.m., and the indoor mask mandate. Now, I'll talk more about park pass reservation system here later on, but let's look at the park hopping and masking rules for a second. Gone are the days when you could park hop willy-nilly from one location to the next. Now you can't hop from one park to another until after 1 p.m. You must first enter the park you have a park pass for, and then when 1 p.m. rolls around, you'll be able to slip into the second park at any time. No further park reservations required. Keep in mind that even with a park hopper pass, park hopping is subject to availability based on capacity limits. Usually this won't be a major problem, but it could be if you're planning on visiting during Disneyland's peak crowd times. Health and safety protocols are definitely something to be mindful of when planning your trip, especially since they've changed frequently since the park's reopening. Currently, masks are required for guests 2 and older while indoors, on rides, and on transportation. In outdoor spaces, they remain optional, but like I said before, these recommendations are subject to change at any time, but we're always ready to update you when we catch a whiff of an important switch in the norm. If you want to keep track of the latest Disney regulations, you can subscribe to our newsletter and check out our channel each week to view our latest news video that releases on Saturday. The crucial thing to take away from this point, if you've set your expectations ahead of time and are prepared to take on these updates, then you've already conquered half the battle. Disneyland vacation planning is different than it once was, but it can be managed. And we're here to help you out every step of the way. And it may be time to go to Disneyland for you if you're up on all the tech updates. Let's build off the point from above. Yeah, we got new rules in effect at Disneyland, but we've also got new technology to learn about too. If you've studied up on what's been introduced in the parks as well as what's going to be introduced to the parks, then you're fine. But let me go ahead and break down some of those super vital techie features just in case you need a refresher. Last year, Disneyland and Disney World debuted Disney Genie, the new service that helps guests plan and customize their trips. That's right, MaxPass is gone. Though the itinerary creation selection of this planning tool is free, there are premium features here, including Disney Genie Plus and individual attraction selections. Genie Plus replaced our trusty old FastPass and MaxPass services that helped us bypass the main queues for our favorite attractions. Now, instead of paying $15 per day per person for the MaxPass service in Disneyland, you'll pay $20 per person per day to help you skip over those massive lines in exchange for a much shorter, more manageable one. Buying Genie Plus gives you access to what's called lightning lanes. Those were the FastPass lanes before, for 19 different attractions, which you can book one at a time, similar to how it worked with the MaxPass system. With individual attraction selections, the new pay-per-ride service, there are 3 rides available for you to book. Web Slingers, a Spider-Man Adventure, and Radiator Springs Racers in Disney California Adventure, and Rise of the Resistance in Disneyland. The amount you'll pay per ride depends on which ride you choose and the date of your visit. We've seen prices range from $7 to $20 per person per ride. Another important thing to know about using Genie Plus at Disneyland is when you're able to purchase it. Genie Plus and individual attraction selections cannot be purchased until you are inside the park. If you're hoping to snag a spot for more popular rides, plan on getting to the park very early to secure your spot. Now, coming to Disneyland in 2022, the West Coast parks will finally have Magic Bands. Though Disney World has been using Magic Bands since 2013, Magic Band Plus will be making its debut at Disneyland with a bunch of new interactive features, including vibrations, color-changing lights, gesture recognition, and immersive opportunities to enhance your park experience, which is all a bunch of Disney marketing words. 2022 will also be introducing the Hey Disney feature in all of the guest rooms at the Disneyland hotels. This will be activated through Amazon Alexa. So basically, it's just an Alexa with Mickey ears. This free service is meant to help guests with amenities, guest services, weather, and even some in-room virtual meet and greets. Think of it as your Disney-fied in-room personal assistant that comes along with your hotel. Along with navigating your virtual queues, mobile orders, dining reservations, PhotoPass pictures, and several other key trip items through your Disneyland app, navigating Disneyland without knowing the ins and outs of all these tech-centered items not only makes things more challenging for you, but also makes your trip less enjoyable and a lot more frustrating, believe me. But if you are familiar with this newfangled tech, then planning your vacation and getting around the parks is going to be a lot easier to manage. You can learn a thing or two over at our DFB website if you're still playing catch-up on Disney innovations. We got full posts covering the details regarding Magic Bands, Disney Genie, Hey Disney, and Park Pass reservations. Okay, now we're at the part of the video that talks why maybe you shouldn't go to Disneyland this year. First reason why, you're waiting on more attractions to open. It's exciting to see Disneyland get back on its feet after lots of months of staying dormant. We got to witness the gradual return of entertainment, rides, and restaurants, but not everything has returned yet. 6 entertainment offerings are slated to reopen in 2022, including Main Street Electrical Parade, just in time for its 50th anniversary, Fantasmic, Tale of the Lion King, Celebrate Gospel, Disneyland Forever, and World of Color. Awesome, right? One problem though, we're still waiting on exact dates for when these experiences are coming back, so if you're not careful, you could wind up booking a vacation before one of your anticipated things has popped back up in the parks. This doesn't mean you have to kiss your Disneyland trip of 2022 goodbye just yet, but it does mean you're going to want to put it on pause until you hear more about when exactly these offerings will be available again. Again, join our newsletter, watch our latest news videos, it'll all be in there. Another reason you might want to go, you don't want your trip to overlap with closures. Now, I'm not talking about a major closure again like we had back in 2020, but Disneyland will be experiencing some prolonged closures for certain rides and park sections during 2022. Disney recently announced that Toontown will be closing in March for a major reimagining. The Transformed Land will debut in early 2023 with a new to Disneyland ride, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It'll also feature lots of interactive experiences. A new area in Toontown, Centennial Park, will be the heart of this section and will incorporate a fountain and play place icon into its reimagined design. The Transformed Land will also pay homage to Walt Disney's childhood with the Dreaming Tree, a play area inspired by the cottonwood tree Walt used to daydream under in his hometown of Marceline, Missouri. Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin has also gotten a little change up. Jessica Rabbit is now a detective with a brand new animatronic. If you'd rather wait and visit Disneyland when all these Toontown updates are finished up, then 2023 might be your shining year instead of 2022. Another reason why you might want to skip Disneyland this year, you need to save more money. Yeah, Disneyland and Disney World both take on different traits that make them stand out majorly from one another, but one thing they have in common, price increases. This past fall, Disneyland changed its tiered ticket pricing system from a 5-tier system to a 6-tier system. Prices are based on demand, so if you visit during a popular, high-demand time of year, you're going to wind up paying more for your park tickets than you would during a less busy time. If you're buying tickets in the highest tier or in the most in-demand tier, you can expect to pay around $164 for a single-day ticket or $224 for a park hopper. Aside from the Tier 1 ticket pricing, all other tier options have increased between $5 and $25. Parking prices also hopped on the upward trend. Now you have to pay $30 instead of $25 per day to keep your car on property. Prices are steep at the Disney parks, folks, and I'm not just talking about the park tickets themselves. I'm also talking about lodging, plane tickets, food, shopping, all of it. I am always shocked at how much it costs to stay at one of the 3 Disneyland hotels, and I stay at Disney World hotels all the time, so you shouldn't be able to surprise me anymore, but Disneyland always does. Now, if you set up a nice budget for yourself ahead of time and pace out the payments and savings, you can make this trip more manageable and less stressful. After you figure out how much you're going to need to save back, create a timeline. Give yourself some breathing room to save back the moolah and break up the payments. That way, you don't wind up having to pay for a bunch of things all at once and create that crater in your account. The downside of being patient about your payments is that you might need to push back your upcoming vacation and save up a little bit. And that's okay. As long as you got a plan of action and a goal to reach, you'll be able to work your way to that Disneyland vacation of your dreams without it blowing your budget and without you just freaking out the whole time that it's not worth the money. Make sure to also check the Disneyland website frequently for discounts and savings on hotel rooms and ticket prices. Believe it or not, they've got them. You can also keep up with deals on our savings page on the DFB website. I'll link it down below. Another reason to skip Disneyland this year, you're wanting to make an impromptu trip. Whether you're vacationing in Disney World or Disneyland, making those spur-of-the-moment trips is pretty difficult to do nowadays, especially with all the reservations you got to make before your vacation begins. Similar to Disney World, Disneyland is still using that Park Pass reservation system. So beyond just purchasing your park tickets, you'll also have to make reservations for your spots in the park that you want to go to. Park passes for both Disneyland Park and Disney California Adventure fill up way ahead of time, so you really need to plan in advance if you're planning to go. You can make Park Pass reservations 120 days before your trip. Hotel and dining reservations also book up fast nowadays. If you're looking to make an advanced dining reservation before your big trip, you can start booking those 60 days in advance. Wanting to book a trip like tomorrow? Then Disneyland probably isn't the way to go unless you're a local who can book a Park Pass reservation the day of during Disneyland's low crowd seasons. Then, by all means, Disneyland it up. Also, maybe you're wanting to buy specific annual passes. Again, this point doesn't necessarily mean you don't need to plan a trip to Disneyland in 2022 at all, but if you're looking to purchase a certain annual pass before your vacation, you might want to put your planning on pause for the time being. After canceling its annual pass holder system earlier last year, Disneyland introduced a brand new system of Magic Key passes. The new Magic Key program includes 4 different tiers of passes, each with different theme park access and benefits. These include the Dream Key, which has no blockout dates and holds 6 park reservations at a time. Believe Key, which has 48 blockout dates around select peak times and holds 6 park reservations. Enchant Key, which has over 150 blockout dates and holds 4 park reservations. And Imagine Key, which is only available for Southern California residents in specific zip codes and has a whopping 235 blockout dates, which is more than half the year. At the time of this recording, the Dream Key and Believe Key are both sold out, leaving the Enchant Key and the Imagine Key as your only available options. And if you're not a SoCal resident, then the only thing you got is the Enchant Key. If you'd like to invest in an annual pass, but you don't want to invest in one with a bunch of blockout dates that could overlap with your future vacation, then you might want to hold off and see if the Dream Key and Believe Key return. Or, of course, you could go with the cheapest option of all and just buy a single-day pass. Keep checking back on the Disneyland website for updates on when these passes will become available again. And remember, annual passes can start and stop their sales at any time for various reasons. So if this is something you want to invest in and you see the Dream Key and Believe Key are available, then snag your pass ASAP because I imagine they'll sell out again real fast. Now the choice is yours. Are you ready to take on Disneyland by storm in 2022 or should you wait it out another year? Either way, we are always here to help you plan. Join that newsletter, watch those latest news videos. We've got all the details every day for you. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.